Hey guys, and welcome to part 8 of Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver for the DS. In the last part we had an embarrassing time at the radio tower. Apparently I'm not that knowledgeable as I thought I was, and now we're in the normal gym, but forget about the gym, we're about to watch creation. And we got a Togepi. Nice. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, you have the egg and now it finally hatched. I've never had it hatch in the gym before, but it's always going to hatch in like Goldenrod, or either just before Goldenrod or just after Goldenrod. Pretty much you're gonna have a baby in Goldenrod, that's what's gonna happen. And yeah, it's Togepi, which is an odd Pokemon because you saw there was an egg and then it hatched from the egg, but it still has its egg as part of it. Like, that's supposed to be the Pokemon that was meant to like show that there was now Pokemon eggs, so they made the design to like be integrated with a Pokemon egg. It's so odd. But anyway, enough about Togepi. This is the gym leader. Yeah, it's a normal gym. She only actually has 2 Pokemon, which is pretty nice. And this battle, it's gonna take you a while. I don't think many people would be steamrolling through this battle. Maybe you could, you know, if you had a fighting type Pokemon or something like that, you could probably steamroll through this battle if you wanted to and had high enough levels. But me, no, it took quite a while to do this one. Ugh. Yeah, so pretty much at the beginning I sent out Hawkins because I didn't think Hawkins would be very good here, because these normal types are very high defense. And as you can see, I'm using Quick Attack, and it's doing next to no damage to this thing. So I thought, right, I'll just send out Hawkins first. Hawkins could probably do some damage towards whatever first Pokemon was, because honestly I had no idea what Pokemon she had. I can remember the main Pokemon each gym has, like with the Cypher and Bugsy, and the Pidgeotto with Falcon, or whatever that guy's name was. Falco, why not? But yeah, I can never remember the other Pokemon, especially because they tweaked it a bit for this this version of the game. So yeah, you could probably do it a lot quicker than I do this battle. You could definitely do it quicker, but I just thought, well, Hawkins is level 17, about to evolve, so I'll send out Hawkins first, keep trying with the quick attacks. Again, Hawkins is pretty good against most types because it has Sand Attack. So as a last resort, I can just hit it with a few Sand Attacks, and then it's going to be screwed. It's just not going to be able to hit me. See there, I got very lucky because Clefairy used Quick Attack, but I managed to get it quicker and beat it. And the main reason that took forever is because she used her potion. So I got Clefairy's health all the way down, only to have it go all the way back up. So yeah, so that's the first Pokemon, but she only has 2, which is nice. As you can see there was Togepi in my party, which for some reason they changed. So I'm pretty sure in the originals, Pokemon from eggs were level 5. I'm pretty sure. I may be completely wrong. I probably am, but whatever. Let's just move on. So this is Milk Tank. This is the daddy right here, or the mummy, I should say. But calling something the mummy doesn't really sound that impressive, you know, it's the daddy. So my plan was to send out the Fluff so I could use Thunder Wave and paralyze it. And then this weird strange of events happened where it used a track, so I didn't attack it. It then got paralyzed by hitting me. It cured itself with a berry, and then I finally got in the Thunder Wave to paralyze it. After this, I do finally get it in. But I don't know why this Pokemon had a berry that, instead of that berry healing it, that berry cured paralysis. So I don't know if that would have changed if I just attacked it normally and when it got to low health it would have healed itself, but I don't think it would have done. It's just really weird that it had that sort of berry, but once again I managed to paralyze it, so it's all good. And the Fluff goes down because this Milk Tank, it's both really strong, so it can just take hits, but it's also really tough. It can actually, like, you know, it can dish it out. It can take it, but it can also dish it out. So that meant that I was like, well, you can't just take it head on. this thing. You got to do something to it. This is like the first gym where you can't just like even if you had a fighting type against this thing, you wouldn't be able to just take it out straight away. And also it has this attack which we don't see, so that either implies that it's not in this generation or it just didn't get around to using it. Where it can just heal itself, because it's a cow. For some reason, I can't remember the name of the move, but it has a move where it drinks its own milk to heal itself. It's a bit disturbing, to say the least. Especially because it works. I mean, that's the craziest thing. So what I did there, I had York out for a bit because I thought York could do some damage. Well, really, I just used Lear a couple of times because I needed Milk Tank to... I needed to be able to do damage to this thing. Because Erok is my highest defense Pokemon, so it's the one that could take the hits easier. But of course, if, you know, Erok doesn't have any attacks that could actually weaken this Pokemon, like, stats-wise. But, yeah, with a couple of Leers in there, and with Milk Tank being paralysed, I did it! In the end, it wasn't too bad, but I'm pretty sure they nerfed this battle for this version of the game. I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, I did it. I remember when I was younger having a lot more trouble with that battle, like a lot more. That can really take forever. And the way I used to do it back then was that I just used to over level and then take it head on like that. But now I'm a bit older and a bit wiser, and I think the battle's a bit easier. I don't have to do that. I did it first time, so that's pretty nice. And this is something that can trick you out. She just starts crying because women do that, I suppose, when they get beaten. When you go up to them and kill their cow, they're like, oh, and they start crying, so they don't give you the badge. It's a massive pain. But yeah, all you have to do is turn around and talk to her again. I think it was... it can definitely be more confusing, especially in the first generation, because as you saw there, that woman there came up to you and said, hey, don't worry about it, she cries sometimes. She just does that. She's, you know, crazy woman. So just go back and talk to her. But I think in the original, she just comes up to you and has a go at you. Like, great job on making our gym leader cry, you prick. What are you doing? So then it's kind of confusing about, well, I want my badge. So you can easily just leave without your badge. Or if you're not paying attention, you can just not pick up on the fact that you didn't get the badge. Because this hasn't happened before. There's been no gym before this where you didn't get the badge for beating them, so you could just tap A and walk out of there. I feel like I did that at some point. Oh well, with that, there's more we could do in Goldenrod, but it's all kind of like extra optional stuff. There's not anything crucial to the plot or to the gym leader challenge, I guess I should call it. But it's a good thing this one isn't a blind LP. It's definitely a good thing because you have to come in this specific shop and talk to this specific woman to be able to pass. But it's kind of like, yeah, this is a big place. There's tons of things to see and do, or tons of buildings to go in and talk to. So you would have, like, the first time you play this game, you pretty much have to go and talk to everyone in Goldenrod. Like, I used to play the Pokemon games like that, where you would come to a new town and talk to everyone. And when I was playing through Black 2, I tried to do that, but it's like there's just so many people. And the majority of them are just completely pointless to talk to. They're just like, hey, isn't, like, Bulbasaur the coolest? And then that's it. That's just, oh, I'm glad I came in here. And then they... then they might have some stupid kid running around being like, oh, hello. And that's it. That's like one building. So I kind of stopped doing that. But in this game, I think in this generation the most, you have to go and talk to people. Like in the bug place, where with the Slowpokes, you have to go in that one building and talk to Kurt so he can trigger the Team Rocket event. And then in Goldenrod, if you want to get past, you have to go in that one building and talk to her. But the thing is, you have to go in there, talk to her once you have the badge. If you don't have the badge, you won't get the squirt bottle. And you're probably wondering why I'm talking about the squirt bottle, or why we even need it. And, well, honestly, we'll see that in the next part. We don't quite see that yet. Now, for the rest of the part, it's just going to be trainers. I'm not going to lie, there's not much else going on. Um, yeah, it's just trainers really, because there's actually quite a lot you can do in between this place to the next place. Most of it battling, and for this part it's all going to be battling. But hold the phone, Hawkins is evolving. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I think my Pokemon are pretty decent level at this point. I think I mentioned this in Emerald, my Emerald LP, but I'm pretty sure what they're going for is that your Pokemon shouldn't be the same level as the gym's highest Pokemon. Like when you take on the gym, and that you're supposed to use your cunning and super effectiveness to take on their final Pokemon, rather than trying to be the exact same level as that Pokemon. So even if you're not like level 19 at this point, because I'm about to be with some of my Pokemon, you know, Hawkins is now 18, so that's about the right level. Although of course if you only have like 2 or 3 Pokemon, then you probably are going to be the same level. Because having less Pokemon can make this game a lot easier. But the main problem is that you have to pick the right ones, because especially in like the last third of the game, if you only have say 3 Pokemon, even if they're really high leveled, some of them are just going to get taken down really easily. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's many people who would say get to the end of the game with only like 3 Pokemon. I think everyone will go for a 5 at least. Because you only really need 5. I think anyway. You probably only really need 5, but I mean 6 can do it. So while I got some time on my hands, I might as well, because the rest of this part literally is just trainer battles, and none of them are that interesting. It's just pretty standard stuff. You don't see that many. I don't think you see any new Pokemon. Actually, no, there is one Pokemon we haven't seen before. I think maybe 2. But one of the problems I have with the 4th gen, because I mentioned at the beginning of this LP that I think the 4th gen is definitely like the weakest. Yeah, one of the main problems past, say, the battling is like the music. Because of course it's a Pokemon game, so it's full of remixes, and that's fine, that's nice. But they're all terrible. Like, because obviously going to the DS they could do more with the music because it's a better audio card or whatever. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's better speakers, more powerful card, so they could make, yeah, they could have better sound. But that resulted, as in the 4th gen anyway, like these weird remixes where there's like so much going on. It's like really, it's just not very listenable. It just sounds horrible, and I don't know what they were thinking with most of them. Not all of them sound bad, and this game has better music than Pearl and Diamond and Platinum, because this is all remixes pretty much, I believe anyway. So yeah, this game has a better soundtrack than Diamond and Pearl, but it's still, some of them are just weird, and I don't really get it. And they kind of fixed it for the 5th gen, because they started writing, or doing like, they actually started to write, I don't want to say proper music, but you know, something that you can just listen to normally without the context of Pokemon, because with the 4th gen you just can't. I can't anyway, it just sounds so terrible and all over the place. There's just like 5 different things going on, instruments like, it's like, it just doesn't work. I don't really get it. So yeah, this is the Pokemon I was talking about, Magmar. And I believe Magmar, the reason Magmar is in this game is because Baby Magmar is in this game, whatever that thing's called. And that thing is a weird looking thing. It's like this mutated fire little kid thing. It's really weird. But yeah, because Magmar wasn't really in the 1st gen that much. So the reason why he shows up so early is because there is a baby Magmar, and he does show up more often in other games. So that's about it for this part. Next time in Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver, we will continue fighting trainers, and yeah, stop! I don't want your number. And we're going to ignore Lyra's call because she has nothing good to say. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you for the next part.